Hi again, this is Eric with minifigology.com, and today I'm reviewing the LEGO Space Starter Set. In fact, I just picked up all the starter sets from Amazon.com. I always buy all my Legos from Amazon.com, and you can read why on my website, or you can ask me on Twitter. I'm minifigology at Twitter. These are great sets because for $10 US new, $10 when you buy it new, you get typically four minifigures, a vehicle of some kind, and some kind of accessory. The sets are around 80 pieces or so. You can look in the comments to see exactly how many pieces this one is. But you get four minifigures for $10. That's $2.50 a minifigure. And a bunch of other stuff to play with too. This set is amazing because you can play with it at least three different ways before you even rebuild it and take it apart and make your own creation or mock it yourself. Lego is adding a lady to all of these sets now, which is just fantastic if you ask me. Typically, when I grew up, it was all Lego men and no Lego ladies, no minifigure ladies. This lady looks to be either an engineer or a scientist. She comes with some blue pants and a white lab coat over a blue shirt or blouse with a little name badge on it. She has glasses on and lipstick. I guess that's how you know she's a lady. But on the back here, there is the new Lego Space emblem, and her hair is up in a little ponytail. There's no printing on the backs of any of these faces in this series, but that's the Lego lady that's included with the set. The next minifigure I want to talk about is the technician. He's probably an engineer of some kind. He also has blue pants like the female figure, with a blue shirt, and it looks like an orange safety vest painted on it. And if you look carefully, I don't know if I can show you with the lighting I have in here, the studio lighting, but there's like brown safety stripes on his jacket, on his vest, and they have a little bit of a different color to them. They're kind of reflective. There it goes. You can see it reflect just a little bit there in the light, which is one of the coolest paint job things I've ever seen in a Lego minifigure. He comes, of course, with a little scruffy beard and a little smile on his face, a white hard hat, and a wrench with a screwdriver tip on the end. All the Lego wrenches have screwdriver tips on the end. And on his back, it's the same printing with the reflective material printed right on the vest there. That's not a sticker or a decal. That's printed right on there. And I think that's a really, really cool feature of these safety vests. Last, I want to talk about the two astronaut minifigures that we get with this set. They're wearing identical uniforms, but they have a bunch of different accessories, which makes them kind of unique. So let's start with the man in the baseball cap here. He's got on white pants and a white shirt again with lots of printing on, and the printing is silver printing, so it's also a little bit reflective like the safety vest. He's got gray gloves on and a smile, and it looks like one eyebrow is just raised slightly, ever so slightly, with a blue hat. And on the back, you can see the space logo, the same one that the female engineer has, and the reflective belt, it looks like, around the jacket. And as I said, there's no printing on the back of the head. And this other minifigure is exactly the same guy, but has a whole bunch of different accessories. Little different face, though, as well. Let's start with the back. He has, as one of his accessories, a jetpack. And it's a really cool, simple little build here with just a few pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and some levers that the man controls, the astronaut controls, and he can fly all around from his little jetpack. That simply snaps off. We can put that aside for now. He has a one-piece helmet. It's a very substantial helmet with some respirator gear, equipment here, it looks like. There's some air tanks on the back, or maybe they're fuel tanks for the jetpack. I think they're probably air tanks. There is a Technic hole here, so you can put in Technic pieces or the top part of a stud. You can see the detail here on the face mask, the golden face mask cover, and that comes off, and I'll take that off in just a minute. This piece is a Technic rod, or Technic pin actually holds on this little camera-like feature here, or maybe it's some kind of measuring device, or maybe even you could put a ray gun on there if you wanted to. But that's one of the cool features of this. And the whole helmet assembly just pops right off. You can see it's a pretty substantial piece here. And you actually get two of these helmets, one for each spaceman. The other one I've got currently stored on the rover vehicle here. You can see it there. I'll talk about that in a little bit when I talk about the rover. And then here's the spaceman again with a simple, very simple face on it, and the same gear, of course, on his jacket and his pants. So those are the minifigures, and I think that's a great deal that you get with this set. Some of the accessories that you get are the. Let's talk about the rover here, because that is a very, very cool little car. This rover has a bunch of different features. It's a very, very simple build. There's no frame to it like many of the Lego cars have. But like I mentioned, there's a spot to attach the helmet here. On the bottom of the helmet, these holes fit into studs, which is different than the old style air tanks. You have a radar dish up here that can swivel around. You have a red steering wheel. You have some kind of red light here, either to illuminate the road or maybe some kind of measuring device. It can roll down or roll back up. And you have a radar dish down here, or some kind of maybe metal detector or sensor, and that can come up, and this one can go down, or vice versa, which is really cool. The minifigure, of course, just can sit right on there and drive around. He can even sit on there with his helmet on. There's plenty of room for his big air tank to go on there, and he can explore the surface of Mars or the moon or wherever he may be. In addition to the rover vehicle here, we also get a little space lab, which let me show you a 360 of this, because there's some cool details on the back. There's a little crater-like surface with some details and some rocks, and you could probably hide some figures in there, some little jewels or something, or minerals for them to discover. And then on this side you have it looks like a little mini laboratory or a sensor station with a couple of maybe canisters of some kind of, you can put rocks in there for analysis with some lights, or maybe those are chemicals that are used in storage so that the machine can process things. There's a screen and a keyboard, and another little keyboard kind of screen printed on here on this 1x2 tile. And one of the things I really like about these sets, there's 5 altogether, 5 of these starter sets this year. All of the bricks are printed. There's no stickers at all in any of these sets. My regular readers know that, my regular viewers and readers to my blog know that I don't like stickers at all. I never put them on my pieces. In fact, I prefer to use printed pieces as possible. And even if there's a sticker that goes on a piece, I tend to leave it off and let you use your imagination. One of the things I like about this little platform here, this little station, is you can actually take off this laboratory and just have the rocks here by themselves. And this laboratory can be off to the side. You can do it remotely if you wanted to. And in addition to this little laboratory here, it looks like you get a little light setup. It's a very simple build on a 4x4 plate with a couple of clearies, or people call them trans tiles, but I've always called them clearies, yellow clearies, as well. And you also get a remote camera. This is a standard Lego camera. It is on a post in this case. You can take it off the post and you can give it to a minifigure. He can hold it in their hand, he or she. They can hold it in their hand and take photos with it. And what I really like about this set, like I mentioned before, is you can play with it 3 different ways. Let me explain. I'm going to set it up here in a new way. So I've set it up here in this new first different way. This is the way I like to. This way I like to say it is that they're still on the planet Earth here, maybe at their headquarters. The 2 astronauts are posing for a picture for the lady. In this case, she's taking a picture for their website. With the camera, and the 2 astronauts have their helmets off and are just kind of casually standing by. In the back here, the repairman, the engineer, is kind of fixing the Mars rover with the wrench. He's fine-tuning it for whatever he needs and fix it all up. But in this case, it's more like they're not on the surface of the moon yet, or surface of Mars. They're just at headquarters at either a training camp or pre-flight, getting ready and doing some press pictures and some website pictures talking about their mission. In this little scene, I like to think of this one as they are doing a training mission still on Earth. They're probably in a desert somewhere, and they are under our atmospheric conditions because they don't have their helmets on. But they're practicing, they're training for their mission in space. So in this case, we've got the one astronaut here driving the car around, kind of learning how to drive it, learning all the different features of it. You have the lady astronaut and the man astronaut kind of learning and working with the sensor and the computer station there. The repairman back here is fixing something in the back. They have their gear here off to the side, and the cameras and whatnot, and the lights are just kind of hanging out in the back while they fix and learn and train on their little station. And here's what the third one I think looks like. In this third scene, they're actually on the surface of Mars or some foreign planet, and you can pick your own name for that. The astronauts have their spacesuits on, and one of them is driving the rover around, and he's analyzing the surface of the moon there with his little sensor. There's another astronaut who has just landed with his jetpack at the remote sensing station, where they're doing some kind of analysis of the rocks and the geography of the planet or moon or wherever they are, comet. You've got the lights and the camera setting up so people back at base can see what they're doing, and it can be broadcast all over the world. If we pretend for a second that they're back on Earth, something very interesting can happen. You can actually change the minifigures around a little bit so that the man stays home. We put the blue pants on the man, and I think I made this one into the female astronaut. That's right. Here's the female astronaut, and she had the helmet on. She was actually doing the mission abroad. If this was the 60s, of course, it would be a man doing that mission. But now with NASA and SpaceX, very progressive, I wouldn't hesitate to see a lady on the moon. So that's my review of this set, Lego Space Starter Set. Please leave me a comment below, or like the video if you liked it. The more likes and more comments I get, the more videos I can bring you. Thanks for watching, and if you have a question, either leave it in the comments or send me a thing on Twitter. Tweet me at minifigology, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.